Well, back home on the Lal Street, the Nifty just managed to keep its head above the 10,600 mark, but witnessed a 180-point downtick. The Sensex also shed over 550 points in trade. The Bank Nifty ended with cuts of more than 300 points to end below the 26,200 mark, while the midcaps took a 280-point cut. So suffice to say that it was a bit of red on screen when you talk about the Indian markets yesterday. But this morning, we have a lot of macro cues to track, right from the OPEC meet to the turbulent moves in Dow. Manglam Malu will run us through all of them. Manglam, as we speak, a lot of macro and micro cues to track, and as we speak, Asia at the low point of the day?
Absolutely, Asia at the low point of the day. So to call it a turbulent Thursday on Wall Street would not be an understatement yesterday, because for the record books, the Dow would end about 80 points lower, but at one point in time, it was as low as 780 points. So it's a rebound from that plunge, and this after the Wall Street Journal reported that the US Fed is considering a wait-and-see approach with regards to rate hikes. And remember, the next meeting is on December 18th and 19th. So this is something that the street will be watching out for. In regard to the recovery that we saw in the Dow yesterday, the Asian markets are doing okay. While the Hang Seng opened 100 points in the green, now has moved to the red. The Nikkei 2 barely holding in the green. We're okay with regards to the cut that we saw on Dow yesterday, as well as the Wall Street. And the SGX Nifty, that one's doing fairly well. It's up about 50 points, while the Asian markets are still off the highs of the day. And this after the sort of cuts that we saw on our market yesterday. The Nifty, like you pointed, was down almost about 200 points. And then we have the Sensex almost 600 points lower, along with the Nifty, Bank and midcaps. The flows not very enthusing. One would say, while the FIs net bought about 72 crores in the cash markets, let's see what they did in the index futures. A sale of close to around 1,722 crores in index futures, another 1,000 crores sold in the stock futures as well. So the FIs in index futures unwound about 1,000 longs and added about 21,300 shorts. Not just that, they are now net short on the index to the tune of 54%. This compares with 49% net short at the start of this series. Add to that, we saw a lot of protection being sought on the downside. Understandably so, given the sort of weakness that we're seeing in the global markets, our own events, the OPEC meet, and the fact that there are the state elections. So the key cues to watch out for in today's trading session. The first one, of course, is crude declining to $60 per barrel and sub $60 per barrel as we speak, and the decision on the OPEC production cut. And secondly, as we speak, elections or voting would be underway in Telangana as well as Rajasthan. And the second half of the street will perhaps be watching out for exit polls, and there could be the trade there. What are the levels you have to watch out for on the Nifty? 10,573, which is the 50-day moving average on the downside, earlier support of 10,500, and on the way up 10,670 and 10,750.
Okay, Manglam, so that was about macros, but a lot of micro cues to track as well in terms of the SCL Tech acquisition as well as the cabinet clearing PFC REC?
Absolutely, a lot of them. So we start with Deal Street State, HCL Tech, to acquire select IBM software products for $1.8 billion. This is the largest acquisition by an Indian IT company. More importantly, what the street will like is the fact that this deal will largely be funded by internal accrual. So they do have the balance sheet strength to go ahead and make such sort of an acquisition. What did not have the balance sheet strength was the likes of Zydus as well as Cadila Healthcare. Both those stocks will be in focus, because now they've announced the details of fundraising to pay for the Complan deal. They'll raise funds by issuing shares worth about 2,600 crores at a price of 1,382 rupees per share. This is Zydus that I'm talking about, and Zydus stock price right now is close to around 1280 odd, and they will also raise debt by about 1,500 crores, and Cadila will invest about 1,200 crores for that. So those are a couple of stocks that we'll be watching out for. Sagar Cements, they've announced their production data for November, 44% higher, and sales has moved higher by about 36.5% as well. NHPC has been declared a successful resolution or applicant by COC for Lanco Teesta Hydropower, which is about a 500 megawatt power plant. And finally, I'm willingly walking into this joke. REC PFC reminds me of an arranged marriage situation. Yesterday, we had the management of REC come by and said they have no idea. So the girl, boy, not talking about anything. But later in the evening, the parents come and they say, perhaps something is in the way. So yeah, that's as far as the stocks are concerned.
I would have definitely pulled your leg on that, but we are running out of, short on time when it comes to Power Breakfast this morning because of a lot of news cues.